This is Home, sponsored by A1 Heating and Cooling and TB Dentistry.
On just 4 acres in Wirt County, what started as an idea has grown into White Pickett Farm. Deb and Jeff Hartshorn started with a dream and a single row of flowers.
I annoyed my husband and said, I really want to start a flower farm. But he scoffed at that idea, and well, because he knew it was going to be, he was going to have to run the irrigation and do all of the hard labor.
Now visitors come to cut bouquets, sip lemonade, and celebrate local business.
This has been a lot of work. It's the culmination of lots of years of work with this man right here who is by my side. And, you know, the gifts that God's given us.
A few months ago, White Pickett Farm was a top 10 candidate for the Best of West Virginia 2025 Living Magazine in the agritourism attraction category. The farm ended up winning in the category and hosted a ceremony earlier this month.
But mostly, it's every single person that chose to vote for us that felt compelled either by an experience that they've had when they've been here, or a taste of the peasy lemonade, or one of our cocoa bombs, jellies, the syrup, the multitude of things that we've done, or taken a flower class. It's every single individual who had a vote of confidence in us and in White Pickett that truly believed that we were the best of West Virginia. And
Deb spoke about her dream of the farm to her husband for years before it actually began. Visitors come for the flowers, but they stay for the experience, according to Deb. She said many of her guests return year after year, making memories in the flower rows.
I had a mother who had been diagnosed with stage 4 and wasn't having any further treatment. The daughters reached out to me. They brought their mom. It was a private experience, and they celebrated in the flowers. They prayed together.
Deb says those private moments are the heart of what makes White Pickett Farm special. The Commissioner of West Virginia Agriculture, Kent Lenhart, was at the Best of West Virginia ceremony held at White Pickett Farm. He said his first impression of the Hartshorns farm was seeing how they inspire other people.
We've learned about White Pickett Farm through the various conferences, and we've watched them grow tremendously. For them to get this honor is just remarkable.
Larry Pack, the state treasurer of West Virginia, also attended the ceremony for White Pickett Farm. Pack said he believes White Pickett Farm is the best of West Virginia because it is very creative.
It's a well-deserved award they got today, Best of West Virginia, which is quite exciting. That's going to be able to tell their story more to more people, become aware of it, bring more business in. But we have small businesses like this all around West Virginia doing great things, doing very unique things. It's always interesting to learn, but it's also interesting to see how they use their ingenuity to create a business.
From a single row hillside to a celebrated destination, White Pickett Farm is proof that agritourism can bloom in small places. Deb and Jeff's next goal is simple: keep the farm sustainable, teach the next generation, and share the farm with the community.
What I actually hope to evoke through White Pickett is you're not going to get you're not going to be evangelized to when you come here to visit, but hopefully you have a sense of peace and calmness that comes from the love of Jesus that hopefully you feel while you're here.
In Wirt County, I'm Allison Powers with WTAP News. This is Home.